聽日就係21號啦。咁我相信大家作為元朗人咧係唔會唔記得嘅，唔好唔記得曾經喺上面發生過咩事啦。
Over the past year, on the evening of the 20th each month, people come to Yuen Long Station on the West Rail line to put up posters about the 721 incident. But in the past 6 months, none of these posters lasted more than a night.
點解你要噴嗰啲嘢嘅？可唔可以講兩句啊？
你哋開始我都可以噴。
你哋係咪有另外一個諗法啊？
係啊。
1 year has passed. Over time, the narrative of the incident has morphed from an attack by white-clad men on civilians into a violent confrontation between men in white T-shirts and men wearing black. There have been even accusations that the incident was instigated by black-clad men. Hong Kong Connection reviewed CCTV and online footage from the day to look for clues and track down those captured on film in a bid to understand the truth as they told it.
當時就喺迎點商場嗰度落嚟放工啦，離遠望埋去咧，已經見到個公園係100人到都有啦。大約喺呢啲位啦，我就講咗句：哇，真係好多白衣人喎！佢就其實一嘢就已經 fit 咗落嚟啦，用藤條啦，係啊，打咗落我背脊度。
咩話打？
Mr. So is a chef. On the evening of July 21st last year, he was attacked by a group of white-clad men wielding rattan sticks on Fung Yau Street North just as he finished work.
不停咁打我啦！我嗰陣仲着住對廚房鞋，啱啱喺上面放工，乜都冇做嘅咧，係咪打錯人啊之類咁樣同佢哋講？真係死裏逃生，因為當時呢度真係好多人啊！咁我係真係跑先走得甩嘅啫。最明顯就一定係手啦！你見到佢呢啲淤血啊，有啲就腫咗，波波頭。即係你見到啲深色真係冇忽好肉咁樣咯。呢啲肯定係藤條痕嚟㗎啦。 一喐就會痛咯，維持咗個幾禮拜啊。
After a year, Mr. So's injuries have fully healed. However, he has a question still unanswered. He doesn't know why he was beaten. He said there's been no justice for what happened on 7/21 from neither the police nor the Independent Police Complaints Council report.
警方連認人嘅程序都冇，得唔到我想要嘅答案咯。我唔知點解俾人打咯，亦都唔知邊個人打我咯。好明顯喺呢間雞地襲擊我嘅人係同佢喺上面西鐵站襲擊人，大家都係着住白色衫，都係攞住藤條。大家個相似性咁大嘅情況下，至佢之間究竟有冇個關係咧？咁呢一樣係個監警會嘅報告完全係冇提及嘅咯。
After comparing CCTV and online footage from the night, Hong Kong Connection found out that a number of white-clad men who appeared in Yuen Long Station had gathered in the Fung Yau Street North area before the incident. This man in light green shorts attacked civilians with a wooden bat and a bamboo stick multiple times that evening. He walked towards the park with around 200 white-clad men at about 8:30 p.m. He also appeared in a clip of white-clad men gathering in Nam Bin Wai from earlier that day. This man with the word soda printed on his T-shirt and this man in a grey T-shirt and black pants got into a van at around 10:30 p.m. on Fung Yau Street North. This man wearing a black face mask walked towards the park with about 80 white-clad men holding Chinese flags at around 10 p.m. Hong Kong Connection showed Mr. So CCTV footage from that evening. He could identify that some of the men who beat him had already been in Fung Yau Street North area beforehand, and they were also involved in the later attack in Yuen Long Station.
我見到啦，係啊，係咯，呢個啦，即係見到佢都係嗰對藍色鞋，又係背心，又係黑色長褲，仍然係呢一個啦。仲見到佢拿住一把遮啊，同佢呢個位一樣嘅，都係嗰個紅色手帶，又係呢對藍色鞋，又係背心。好明顯啊！呢件衫都係咁樣藍色上邊一格，跟住 呢一度又係藍色一格咁樣咯。喺當晚襲擊我同埋喺上西鐵站襲擊其他人嗰陣嘅人，根本其實係同一班人嚟嘅，根本係一個有關係嘅。估唔到我第一次認人嘅程序，而唔係喺警局嘅，而係要用一個咁嘅形式去認人咯。即係當我哋都可以揾到一啲 CCTV 去講呢啲事情嘅時候，點解警察會做唔到定係唔做呢？
Who were the white-clad men attacking ordinary people in the West Rail station? At about 10:40 p.m., a man dressed in a white T-shirt bearing the Chinese characters Ha Kai was inside Yuen Long Station with a long bat in his hand. A big logo showing a traditional building was printed on the back of his white T-shirt. He repeatedly swung a stand at passers-by. He later left the station together with a group of white-clad men. This man in blue pants and a white T-shirt bearing the characters Ha Kai had also appeared in a clip that was circulated online earlier that day. Outside Shekong Wai in Ha Chun village, we found the same car park. Village chief Tam Kam Phai is also the chair of Ha Kai Association, which falls under Yuen Long Rural Committee. He denied any links between Ha Kai Association and the white-clad men of 721.
我都唔知咩人，咁人哋有權着呢啲衫咁啊，我都唔可能控制到佢着唔着呢啲印呢啲字下溪唔知㗎。
As for why a large group of white-clad men gathered in the village car park on the day, Tang said he wasn't in the village that day and didn't know what happened. There are no gates to the car park and it's free to park there. He can't stop anyone or any vehicle from going in or out, he said.
咁你知唔知呢單嘢我哋唔清楚？
即係你村長嚟嘅喎。
村長一定知嘅咩？傻嘅你都，村長有好多嘢唔知噶嘛？唔識嘅，唔識嘅。
但係點會企喺你哋呢度咧？咁
可能佢知道我哋呢度咧，呢個廣場咧夠空曠咧，佢借呢個地方嚟追。我大聲疾呼啊！我唔關我事，或者係哎呀，我對呢件事有啲咩，人哋都會唔同睇法。因為標籤咗你係鄉黑啊！你講咩都冇用㗎。
We checked the logo that was printed on the back of white T-shirts bearing the characters Ha Kai. The T-shirt's logo is very similar to the logo for Ha Chun Rural Committee. So we went to the Rural Committee chair, Tang Lai Tung, to ask him about it. It so happened that they had an event on the day of our visit. A Rural Committee member told us to make an appointment for an interview. However, a staff member in Tang Lai Tung's office said they generally didn't take interviews. So we went to find him at a district council meeting.
你哋講當日721下村鄉事委員會有冇派人去或者參與過活動啊？
哎呀，你哋而家你傳媒你講咩嘢都唔緊要嘅，啱先？最緊要係與唔係，由警方去決定 ，OK？如果有犯事嘅，由警方去處理 ，OK？ 好，咁你自己，但係嗰陣時我哋點解會見到你哋嘅相？我哋嘅相，我哋成日主要話我哋嘅相。唔係，因為呢個我哋就想知。你冇俾人哋冒認話。 或者俾人哋插裝嘅啫，係你而家你唔好講呢樣嘢 ，OK？ 件衫唔係你哋嘅喎，係咪？睇啊！唔係可唔可以睇一睇呢件衫係？大家先詳細條件好冇？而家你唔好將而家好冇？
On 721, this man in pink attacked a reporter and passengers inside a train carriage. Earlier that evening, he was seen loitering on Feng Yao Street North with a bamboo stick in his hand and a red string tied around his arm. Our reporters tried to find him at his home and farm in Cam Tin's Xiaopo village. However, no one ever answered the door, and his neighbors said they hadn't seen him for a long time. Villagers told our reporters to go away during their visit. On the evening of 721, a number of vehicles carrying white-clad men appeared on Feng Yao Street North. Hong Kong Connection made car license plate checks and found out several of the vehicles were registered under the names of village representatives. This vehicle appeared just after 11 p.m. The vehicle's registered owner is Tang Fai Tai, a village representative from Mong Cheng Wai in Pingshan Hung. He left about 30 minutes later. We went to find him at his home. He said he just happened to pass by on the night. He refused to be interviewed. This vehicle appeared at 8:40 p.m. It parked right by a group of white-clad men. Two men in white t-shirts crossed the road after they got out of the car. The vehicle left just after 11 p.m. The registered owner of the vehicle is Wong Kwang Ning, a representative of Chuk Yun village in Santin Heung. We went to his home twice and saw the car parked outside his house. His family said he was suffering from an illness and was not available for interview. They also said he's not among the men in the video.
因為呢個就唔係佢本人嚟㗎啦，咁啊呢個車有冇事俾人哋，咁呢啲嘢就真係㗎，咁啊但係呢係依家咧就本人咧就係依家即係喺醫院度休養緊，所以咧就真係唔方便，屋企都冇參加呢啲嘢㗎啦。
We managed to find one village representative who was at the scene that evening. He said he's against all forms of violence. He's worried about getting doxxed, so he chose not to appear on camera.
冇你一班人走入嚟，點會入住大山咧？一諗出嚟住元朗嘅係嘛？點解11點入嚟啊？11點點啊？行街啊？食飯？咁冇幾百人使咩走入嚟啊？係嘛？住元朗啊，全部都你行到入到嚟我門口嚟，跟住你話叫我打你，你入到嚟門口我哋手入訂喎，得唔得咧？
咁但係如果係咁，點解釋喺佢入嚟之前有幾個人已經俾人打到受咗傷咧？
當其時喺嗰刻，我相信亦都有好多喺啲人已經喺度做緊佢自己所有嘅嘢㗎啦。門都計一個人行過門都俾人打。 我喺元朗生活咗幾廿年，我冇見過咯。一套劇嚟㗎，啲死事嚟㗎啦，俾人做啲長戲，跟住播出嚟啫嘛。
On July 21st last year, a number of vehicles appeared on Fong Yao Street North carrying men in white t-shirts. Hong Kong Connection found the registered address for each license plate and contacted the registered owner of each vehicle one by one.
我想問梁生喺唔喺度啊？唔好意思。喺度住過。我個車係我細佬揸㗎，而家我俾咗我細佬嘅好耐，幾年。咁我哋可以點樣揾到你細佬咧？唔知喎，我都係交書同佢聯絡啦。唔揸時間啊，唔該你啊。
A family member of another car owner said he's now in the mainland and the car had been lent to a friend surnamed Kwok who lives in Yuen Long. A person who claimed to work for Mr. Kwok then called us.
我就幫阿郭生咧就做運輸嗰啲嘢嘅啫，通街啲人每次都有拎住啲嘢啦，派咪有人攞咯。咁自己咁加國旗有咩問題咧？我再打嚟啦。
Carrying a cross-border license plate, this car arrived at about 8:30 p.m. Around 2 hours later, a group of white-clad men handed out bamboo sticks from the car's boot. The car is held by a company, but its registered address led us to another business. The staff there said they'd never heard of the company under which the car was registered. Afterwards, a man called to tell us that he had bought the car from his friend to do cross-border trading business, and he simply didn't update the car registration.
件事點發生咧？我都冇辦法問到，因為我知邊個司機揸啫，我都冇權問佢，佢答我又答，唔答我都冇符㗎。嗰個時間應該佢又做緊自己嘢啊！佢住喺新田嗰邊㗎嘛，呢半年都唔喺香港，一路都喺大陸冇翻嚟。
閉路電視係有力嘅證據嚟㗎，因為基本上影到晒嗰一晚嘅集結啦。
James is one of the shop owners that provided CCTV footage to us. He said his family had told him to stay out of trouble, fearing that his business would be drawn into the fray. However, he doesn't want to live with regrets.
佢哋做嗰啲咁離譜嘅事，周街打人啊！如果我哋掌握呢一個證據， 都唔能夠俾出嚟嘅話，咁我覺得香港就真係玩完啦。呢個位置就係當日7月21號啲白衣人聚集嘅地方。何君堯同白衣人係握手，但係嚟到今時今日仍然冇任何嘅起訴或者任何嘅調查都冇。
On the night of 7/21, Junius Ho appeared on Fung Yao Street North after 10 p.m. He said he was just walking someone home, but for that he was vilified as a mastermind of the 7/21 attack.
咁我就係一個冇心嘅人，就俾有心人嘅裝。咁啊嗰日咧，識直何君堯，好啊！啱啱路過嗰度就同你握手，仲話叫人哋英雄。我做咩事唔叫人英雄啫？保家衛族，人哋保家衛族。
A week before 7/21 last year, Ho posted this video message on social media.
前日嘅上水，昨日嘅沙田，而家又話嚟搞呢個元朗，元朗就歡迎佢哋嚟到嘅時候點樣啊？會招呼佢哋，佢多嚟，你就握啲手，將佢打到去片甲不留。咁啊點啫？任何吹水都唔得㗎，係咪？咩氣氛都每人都有情緒㗎。而家我同你傾偈，我都有情緒㗎。
CCTV footage shows that several men left with Ho that night. One of them was holding a bat.
係屯門嘅一位村長已經講過話係要教仔啊，諸如此類揸藤條㗎嘛，不爭係事實嚟嘅。你仲問佢着嗰件衫，你有冇見到咩牌子？冇理由唔知嘅。着嗰條長褲定短褲？All these are crap, rubbish。唔需要轉彎抹角，因為冇意思嘅。觀眾想聽嘅一樣嘢就係何君堯有冇份參與，咁就講清楚係冇。如果有嘅，差人警方已經做咗嘢。
Wang Seichuang was one of the men who accompanied Junius Ho as he gave handshakes before they left together. Wang was a volunteer in Ho's campaign during the 2016 Legislative Council election. During the campaign, Ken Chow, another contestant in the same constituency, withdrew his bid just before the vote after claiming that Wang had pressured him to quit the race. CCTV footage from 7/21 showed that Wang appeared in a rally at around 8 p.m., holding symbols. He was joined by dozens of people holding placards that read, "Defend Yuen Long." At about 11 p.m., Wang was seen clapping his hands on the train station platform after white-clad men attacked passengers inside a West Rail train carriage. He was later arrested, but has so far not been charged for his role in the incident. We tried to find him at his company. We also made several visits to his home, but our attempts were unsuccessful. Billy Tang was another person who shook hands with Junius Ho before he appeared on Yuen Long Station platform later that night. His brother is Ronnie Tang, district councillor for Yuen Long's Pat Heung North. We found Billy Tang outside his brother's office. He was arrested, but has so far not been charged in connection with the incident. After seeking legal advice, he said it was not appropriate for him to take part in our interview. The police have so far arrested about 40 people in connection with the 7/21 incident. A handful of them were charged with rioting and conspiracy to wound with intent. Several of the defendants and arrested persons had met Junius Ho that night.
任何人都佢喺嗰度，就算我喺嗰度咁，如果我係被捕，係咪遺憾啊？咁對我嚟講係遺憾㗎。咁我相信佢哋都係為佢自己保家衛族嘅啫，乜咁大件事啫？721係一個唔理想嘅情況，但係成件事唔係721一個原委，真正係乜嘢咧？顏色革命，有外國勢力。
James thinks the 7/21 incident was a premeditated attack because the police had turned a blind eye to the more than 100 white-clad men that were already in Fung Yao Street North late afternoon that day. In reviewing CCTV footage, he spotted several men who he suspected to be plainclothes police officers.
見望晦晦疏而不漏， 我哋見得到一位中國籍男子咧，佢手持一個疑似委任證或者一啲證件嘅嘢，咁佢不停來回呢一條街超過10幾次以上，咁啊而嗰個委任證咧，其實就係呢一個。咁但係我唔相信係一啲普通證件，譬如唔通圖書證嚟嘅，唔通將個身份證放咗入去，然後掛出嚟咩？可以喺片段嗰度見得到，其實白衣人要手持一啲國旗啊或者條狀嘅一啲物體，手持疑似委任證呢位朋友咧，似乎咧就冇任何嘅行為。嗱，呢個揸住碌棍嘅男子，跟住咧我哋之前見到巡邏咗好多次嘅呢位疑似委任證人員咧，咁就已經望得到佢，跟住咧佢揸住個棍一直行，然後咧佢視若無睹，跟住擰翻過去。佢見到咁樣嘅人聚集咗喺度，有好多唔同類型、各式形式嘅武器，咁我覺得呢樣嘢實在係太離譜。
The Independent Police Complaints Council report said the police had sent officers to the scene 5 times between 7:51 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. to report on the white-clad men's activities. Each time they reported no breach of the peace or criminal behavior. Hong Kong Connection approached the Yuen Long District Commander to verify if the men in the footage were plainclothes officers.
我 comment 唔到嘅，你咁樣。OK。
咁當日
你就咁撮錄一段片，我真係 comment 唔到，唔好意思啊。
哦，明白。咁其實咧，我見721週年咧，暫時淨係檢控咗7個人，嗰個執法困難係咪都有好大，所以先至檢控咁少人？
你寫上嚟，我回應你。
Hong Kong Connection lodged an inquiry to the Police Public Relations Branch. We asked if the men in the footage were plainclothes officers. The police did not respond to our question, so we were unable to confirm if they were police officers. The police repeated that they were actively following up on their investigation into the incident.
勝利者而家不停篡改緊成個歷史，嗰件真相咧就慢慢好似被世人遺忘，或者佢用好多唔同千方百計嘅方法，令到嗰件真相慢慢消失啦。咁但係每一樣事情發生過都會記喺我哋心入邊嘅。我相信一定會良知會勝過邪惡，乃至幾年、幾十年都好，我相信最後真相會水落石出。